Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about none other than YNW Bortlen. Now, you might be like, hold up, man. That's the wrong last part of that name. Because most people are familiar with YNW Melly. Now, YNW Melly, his case has been, it's been national news and hip-hop news the last 2 years, right? Ever since the tragic death and passing of his two homeboys, and him and his other homeboy being accused of taking a part in it, it's been crazy on the hip-hop scene on their side. Now, this is the crazy part that a lot of people don't understand. That YNW Melly has a whole bunch of links in the hip-hop game. He was connected to King Von through their management. He's connected to a lot of people like Spot 'em, Got 'em, a whole bunch of different people in the rap game. Even Fredo Bang, right? They line up all on that side that everybody says is clicking up. Now, YNW Bortlen is with those cats, man. And he's actually YNW Melly's co-defendant, so he's his Cody. Now, dude got a leg up, man. He got to prove that in 2020 that he could actually, work on house arrest, he could fight his case from the house. He could be on house arrest and under certain stipulations could even leave the crib to go work and do stuff like that. So it looked like a good deal for YNW Bortlen, but for some reason, man, according to the new documents that came out and a news story that surfaced recently, he messed it all up. Now, before we get into the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about YNW Bortlen, man. All right, so last May, back when YNW Bortlen got the good news that he'd be able to go out on house arrest, man, it probably was a great feeling, man, because, man, having to fight a case from inside the jail is, man, they say it's pretty bad, man. I don't know personally, but I hear that's the worst situation because you're meeting with your lawyer, you're meeting with everybody through the bars or in a confined environment, man. It just, takes away a little bit of your humanity. You know what I mean? So you would think that with this blessing, he would treat it like it was the best thing in the world. But a news story cracked off about a week ago that a judge was looking at revoking his pretrial release. And he was officially arrested yesterday, according to the documents and the news stories that are out there. Now, this is bad news for him because now he's going to be wishing he didn't do what they're accusing him of doing. I got to say it was alleged, but man, when you read it, it is hilarious to say the least. Because if there was anything, you would think, okay, dog, like let's chill, let's try to fight this case, let's do our thing, just go to work, just do what you're supposed to do. Nah, man, they said that YNW Bortlen was all up in the strip club, was all up, and when I say strip club, I wasn't talking about one, I'm talking about multiple. They're saying he was out there doing super bad, man. Okay, so let's look at this story. So this is brought by Yahoo News, and it dropped a little while ago. And it says this. It says a pretrial specialist says YNW Bortlen, YNW Melly's co-defendant, who's currently out on bond for a murder case, has not properly conducted himself and has violated the conditions of his release. In Broward County court documents obtained by Complex, the pretrial specialist states that Bortlen, real name Cortland Henry, sounds like a football player, but anyway, violated the conditions of his release on 2 separate occasions. Now, according to the documents, Bortlen is said to have been given permission to leave his residence for work on March 27th, but was later tracked to both a private residence and a regional King of Diamonds club. Now, King of Diamonds Club, for those of you who don't know, is a strip club, man. It's like world famous. People go to Miami, they take trips there. It's a big deal, right? It continues. And on 28 March, Bortlen is said to have been tracked to a regional Playhouse Gentlemen's Club and a G5 Gentlemen's Club after being given work-related permission to leave his home. Now, okay, we'll stop there. And this story right here is actually when the judge was considering, bringing him in for, getting rid of his pretrial release, And basically, they're saying that, dude went there, said he was going to work on both of those days and ended up going to strip club. Now, this is what I was going to say. Is there any way for him to finesse this into he was going there for a show or something? I don't know, man. Maybe that's a stretch. I doubt it, man. They probably look all the way through that. But it says this, and it continues. It says a spokesperson for the Broward County Courthouse confirmed that Bortlen's pretrial release had been revoked by order of Broward County Judge Andrew L. Siegel. And basically, the order went down on April the 5th, and he was actually arrested on April 8th. So, yeah, a couple of days ago, about 5 days ago, man. And, man, he's going to be locked up and fighting this trial from the jail. Now, YNW Bortlen was in an interesting situation because a lot of people with the 100K management, a lot of people with that team have been blowing up. Like Fredo Bang. You might have seen YNW Bortlen in the Fredo Bang top video. And it's a little weird that he gave up all that freedom just for 2 nights of going to the strippy, man. Come on now. I understand that you'd like to get out the house and have a good time, maybe hit a club or whatnot. But to go to the high profile clubs like that, especially like King of Diamonds, and you're wearing an ankle monitor, of course they're going to know you've been there, bro. That was just super duper reckless. I can't, man, I don't know, man. That's just bad planning. I can't believe his team was cool with it. It just made more sense for him to stay in the studio and keep building on those relationships and opportunities and be able to finally maybe even loosen the restrictions a little bit more, be able to do shows, be able to go maybe out of town or something like that. But nah, man, it looked like he blew that chance, and according to these reports, and I'm pretty sure if he's locked up in jail, he's thinking like, man, maybe those 2 nights at the strippy just weren't worth it. And I barely touched on this point. YNW Bortlen and YNW Melly, they're still fighting a murder case, man. They got a case going. So I don't know why he would ruin that opportunity, man, to fight that case from home. But I mean, maybe he thought the juice was worth the squeeze in this situation, even though it obviously wasn't. Now, they're saying he did these things, but I mean, they had the ankle monitor to match to it. I was going to shoot him some bail right there, but it looks like, man, he's going to be locked up fighting his case from the jail cell. I'm almost disappointed in that decision making because you can bring the club to the studio. You can bring it. You can have the studio popping, man. Like, if you're allowed to go to the studio to work, man, go to the studio and work, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun while you're there, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. So what do you guys think, man? What do you think about this whole YNW Melly situation with his court case? You know, him and the manager, man, they had a little situation where they brought a lot of entertainment to the jail cell for YNW Melly, and that made international news. And when this thing really starts to take off, man, you're going to be hearing a lot more about this situation. But what do you guys think about YNW Bortlen? Do you think that dude just made a horrible decision here and really blew his chance of proving his innocence and, even collecting more money to fight his case? Or do you think that sometimes you just got to, let your hair down and try to have fun no matter the consequences? Now, I wouldn't advise anybody of that because that's just a bad way of looking at, the circumstances. I would go with the one before that and say that, man, he blew it and probably should have just stayed at home. Now, with that, this is your boy, Big Man. Please do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.